going through the Dartford crossing underneath the Thames, about a mile long this is, I think. And then once we get out the other side, it's about an hour journey down the A12. So I guess we'll pick up once we get there.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe...
So just running a quick car vertical on this one, just to actually try and find out a bit more about it, because there is no keys with it. There's no mileage displayed. There's no information on it. So that is why I think this is going to be a little bargain as well, because none of that is displayed. You do quite often get a bit of a deal, but of course that is a bit more of a risk. So we're using car vertical just to check out if there is any other problems with it and anything that jumps out, and can we pick up some more information. So the mileage looks okay, financial and legal's okay, damage detected. I mean, we was expecting that, wasn't we? So let's click on that. This vehicle was marked as an insurance write-off, and it is a category S, structurally damaged. We got our market values there. So 14,000 average price, highest price 16, lowest price 13, emissions and taxes, specs and equipment, and timeline. I'm looking at the timeline on this one. So 7 records found, the manufacturer's date, the registration date, so March 2019. Ownership changed on the 9th 2020, so 9th 2020, and then inspected there in 2022. Had a license plate change from OY19 FGP to RS10 Fuzz. Now it does actually come with that number plate, because that's the registration I've punched here into car vertical to get the information. And then was inspected 08 2023, so an MOT record, and that is what I do want to look up, that first MOT, see when it was and what the mileage was. So looking at that first MOT there, it was on the 8th month of 2023, and you can actually see there 26,556 miles. So actually that is going to be a very nice low mileage van, isn't it? Hopefully probably just under 30,000 still. So I want to thank Car Vertical once again for the continued support on the SR UK channel. To benefit from a nice little discount off your check, use the code up on screen now, or there's a link in the description where as soon as you click on it, it'll automatically apply your discount. Now, as nice as that looks, 2019 van, and the research that I did to get the mileage, this is unbelievable, and this will be the first time you've ever heard me say this. That is the worst salvage vehicle I've ever bought from a salvage auction in my history of buying cars and vans, because this one was clearly written off the back of photos, and they must have been the sketchiest photos they sent that insurance assessor, because I've never seen anything repairable like that. That is absolutely awful. You can see the door is overlapping there by a long way. But look at the state of that. That turret has punched back so hard, it has unpeeled the chassis leg in here off of the firewall. It has crumpled it all back and bowed out. You can see it, and actually broke the windscreen. It's bowed out the A-post and punched all of the A-post in here and actually split the floor. I mean, it is awful. There's no way that van should have ever been a Category S repairable van. Look at it. I'm going to be honest with you. As the buyer for the vehicles of Salvage Rebuilds, I'm almost embarrassed to go back to the yard and show Chris that van. Embarrassed, because that is a joke. You do go to a certain degree of, do you know what? An insurance assessor's seen that vehicle. He's declared it a Category S. And we think, right, okay. And 9 times out of 10, they're not as bad as you would expect them to be. But sometimes they are quite bad. And you've got to expect that because you're buying a Cat S. But that is taking the biscuit. There ain't no way an assessor has been round and had a look at that, because he'd have said, throw her in the crusher. Anyway, I guess all we can do is go back and get Chris's reaction. But I've got a funny feeling his is probably going to be worse than mine, because I've never took him a pile of junk like that to repair. Let's see how we get on when we get back to the yard. 2-hour trip. So it is on my way home, Gillingham in Kent, Marshalls, and no key. So I've got a little bit of a plan just to kind of dull that embarrassment, I think, before I get back to the yard. I'm going to whip in here and actually see if I can get the key number and security code for this one, because ultimately, in my opinion, this is worthless, isn't it? So let's actually try and make it worth something before we get back. Let's pop in there and see if we can get the information that we need. A bit of success there. Remy, the parts guy, is actually not here. He's gone home sick. So the Skoda guy here has actually gone on the system, and he's given me, it's in French, but he's actually given me the security code, but no key number. So I don't really know what to do. I'm going to ring another Marshalls group and see if they can get me the key number over the phone, because I've given all my... They've took a photocopy of the bill of sale here and my driving licence. Maybe they'll be quite happy to send it to another branch, so I'll give them a call and see how I'll get on. Right, a little bit of luck. So I ended up ringing Canterbury, and the guy down there said, yeah, absolutely no problem. He knows that he was off sick. He'll get my ID from them and he'll get me the key code and security number. And do you know what? Before he even contacted them, he went, give me a minute, give me the chassis number. And he actually gave me the key number and the security code again, which was handy, because the first one wasn't actually a security code. It was in fact an authorization code from Peugeot. I won't show you what it was, but that's basically it. It's in French anyway, so unless you can read French, you can't read it. I've got the key code, got the security number. I've already rung Aidan and given him the key code. He's cutting a key now. He's heading to the post office. He's got 26 minutes to get it there so that he can get it here for me, guaranteed next day by 9 AM. Also, Chris is really not well. He's got an awful cold. So I've just pulled up at home. I'm not even going to bother going back to the yard today. There's no point me unlocking and disturbing him. So I guess we'll pick up in the morning. Morning, mate.
All right, mate.
How you feeling?
Yeah, still a bit rough, mate.
You don't look any better, if I'm honest. Your nose is really red, your eyes are red.
Oh, my eyes are terrible.
I'm not going to get too close to you,
no,
but
you don't want to catch this.
what do you reckon on that?
It's terrible, isn't it? That is terrible.
It's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's clearly there was no photos of that, because you wouldn't have bought that.
No, that's the only photo they didn't take. And it is so unfortunate now. I only mentioned this to you last week. Copart's pictures are all watermarked now, protected.
Yeah.
So I can't even put them up on screen and show the pictures that I got. But I knew it had one in the front, and you got a picture of that corner there that didn't show any of that. But that is bad, Chris, isn't it? Look how it's just unpeeled it all.
Yeah.
And it's punched that chassis, it's punched that turret, has punched that firewall so hard, it's separated it from the chassis leg. Look.
Yeah.
Look how bad that is down there.
This makes a mockery of the categorisation, really, though, doesn't it?
Definitely.
It just makes a mockery of it.
Is this some sort of weird scam between the insurance assessor getting the wrong pictures of the wrong van?
Well,
that's unbelievable.
It goes back to the thing, doesn't it, that do the assessors even look at them half the time?
They ain't looked at this, Chris. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way. Have a look at this. The floor is separated from the inner seal.
Very sus, isn't there?
So-
Very, very dodgy
So-
goes on, where that's categorised as, yeah, admittedly it's a Cat S, but you put your trust in those categories, don't you, when you're bidding? Category N, Category S, you sort of kind of know
What you buy.
I suppose it goes back to the old thing I know people do criticise us a bit with the car verticals,
Yeah.
but you can't trust what goes through, whether it's
Any
this
auction,
auction or
yeah.
any auction. We do our own
Research and due
yeah,
diligence.
because
yeah.
we've seen it before where the cars goes through and it's a different category, or it's advertised as uncategorised, but it is categorised.
Again,
how can any engineer put that as a Cat S?
I don't think they've seen it.
They haven't seen it, have they? Can't have done.
I mean, look, I think it's got one screw left in it.
There's got to be some
I want to
conspiracy
know what's
somewhere,
behind
hasn't
there.
Really?
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that post.
Yeah.
And have you seen it? You ain't seen
Oh,
this
you
yet.
don't
Look,
need- I don't need to.
look.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew. I mean, I've done a lot of filming. When you watch this back, and I've said I can't wait to get your reaction because I think it's going to be worse than mine. Chris, honestly, I nearly swore on camera when he loaded it up. I was like, "Sweet be Jesus, are you kidding me? Are you joking?"
We don't know if the engine's any good yet, do we?
Ah, mate, can I get you to hold that? I've got some good news there.
What am I doing, mate?
Just hold that for a sec. I know I told you that I bought this and it's got no keys. I stopped at Marshall's Peugeot.
What, it runs?
No,
Oh.
I stopped at Marshall's Peugeot. I got the key number, security code. This was yesterday afternoon.
Right.
Sent it to Aidan. I went into Marshall's and they give me this, but I can't really read French. It says something about Chateau Neuf de Pape. But
We.
special delivery, guaranteed by 9 AM. Aidan's cut a key for it.
Has he really?
I can't show this because it's got my address on it.
Okay.
But let me just cover that up.
Yeah.
Look at the price. There, can you see that?
Yeah, it's lumpy.
£26. Look,
Mind you,
unopened.
it would cost more than that, wouldn't it, to
Yeah.
get him to drive down?
What he said was, he said, "Rob, I've sent you a key." He said, "And today, you're going to be a locksmith." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Get your all-tail out. I'm going to teach you how to program the key in with
Oh,
our
really?
all-tail." So he sent us that. Let's see how good he is.
Is it locked then?
He's good, isn't he?
It is good, yeah.
So that it's a bit stiff. No, it's not locked, but we've got no keys for it.
No, of course.
So no mileage, don't know if it runs, don't know anything.
Climb in and see if it
I need
turns ignition.
I need to program this in.
Yeah, obviously.
This side's all right.
Did we know the mileage?
No,
Because
only what I've got on car vertical. God, look, snap the steering column.
Yeah, that's had one, mate.
Oh, the floor's all up in here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, ignition comes on. Can I have that?
Yeah. You got it?
Yeah. Oh, it's gone off. What's the chances of that? Let's turn it off, turn it back on again. It come up there a minute ago. 28,000 miles it's done anyway.
Has it?
Yeah,
Oh,
the mileage did just come up on there, but this is not going to work, and it's come up there with a key.
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, needs coding.
I can't believe that mileage though. It come up, now it's gone. So I guess, yeah, Chris, I did put the bonnet down, and I've got the strap holding it.
on the cable.
But I definitely think we program this key in, and we see if it runs, because there's nothing in the way underneath there. I mean, it's missed the engine.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
This is not our van, down the builder's back.
Yeah, I think the other thing to do is price a new body shell.
Really?
Why not? Price it up. Funny because you mentioned Dan. Years ago, I did a transit for Dan, and it had fair old slab, and but it had really low mileage. And he bought it from Mark at Kent Auto Salvage.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going back 20 odd years ago, and we just, well, we'll get a price from Swell Motors, the Ford main dealer. I can't remember what it was. It was it was incredible how cheap it was.
Really?
A new body shell. We reshelled it rather than repair it.
Yeah.
But it's worth giving them a bell.
Mate, let's get this done.
Yeah.
And see if it actually
It was
starts.
good of him to do that, wasn't it?
Oh, he's brilliant. He is absolutely fantastic. As usual, I will put Aidan's number in the description down below, but we may even get him on FaceTime because he's going to talk me through getting this key programmed. But the battery's still connected. It's got a lot of broken.
It's missed the engine.
Yeah, it's missed the engine, but the intercooler's smashed off.
Yeah.
But 28,000 miles, hopefully that runs all right. This tyre here, you can see it's like new.
Well.
The other tyre, the other side is bald.
Is it?
Yeah. So, but that's an hard thump, that is, isn't
That's
it?
a proper thump, isn't it?
Right, let's get the Autel on here and see if we can program this key.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to give away, and neither did Aidan really, he's living, it's his secrets,
right,
isn't it? But he's just talked me through it, and I went into that built-in system interface on there, and it allowed me to program this key. And as soon as I did it now, this did work a minute ago, I promise. There you go.
There it goes.
Yeah. So,
Right.
and it's worked. And can you see it's turned that alarm off now as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you reckon? Send it? I've checked the oil, it's got oil in it.
Yeah, just try it.
So you can see it there now as well, 28,637. Mate, I've got my fingers crossed that this is going to be a good engine. Ready?
Yep. Yeah, sweet as.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to just poke that camera out there? Because I can't
Well,
get it out.
might, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Let's just turn it off, make sure there's no leaks, and then maybe I'll do a bit out there. Yeah, give that a go, Chris. You've got a little bit of chuff in there. Obviously, it's got no intercooler on it. That's the airflow sensor there unplugged. Yeah, sounds sweet as a nut, mate. Bang it off. Got lucky there. Chris just hit the nail on the head there, I think, and obviously we have decided that van is just not economically viable to repair. What he did say is, if they're not going to give you good enough clear pictures to see what you're buying, then bring back being able to view the vehicles, because at the moment you're not allowed to view them, you've got to buy them off of the pictures. The pictures are a bit, let's just say, not brilliant, and to be honest with you, we both agreed really that van is definitely a category B, and it should have been a Cat B breaker only. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're certainly not going to moan about it. I think I'll give a very reasonable price for it. It's done 28,000 miles. It runs lovely, and you know full well we're going to park that van up and we're going to wait until something comes up where we can utilise the parts that are on it, because it's got a perfect passenger side, it's got a perfect set of back doors and a bumper, and the engine runs sweet as a nut. So could we buy a flood damaged one with a knackered engine? I know them engines are quite sought after as well, so if we had to go down a route where we were selling the parts, we'd definitely get our money back. Not something that we do, Ideally, would love to buy a flood damaged one that sucked up water, or one that's had a run up the back. It'd be really nice to get myself a newer, up-to-date van, and of course that is the later shape one. But drop it in the comments down below, and your honest opinion. What do you think of that van? Do you think it should be a Category S? That's one question. The next question, do you think an assessor actually even looked at that van? Or do you think he just got some pictures? Did he even see some pictures? Did he get an explanation? I would love genuinely to hear your thoughts and your comments on that one, because the camera wasn't pointing at my face, but if you'd have seen the shock on my face when that forklift driver brought that out, I was like, is that even the right van? Honestly, I could not believe it. So unfortunately, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video, and the end of the videos on the Peugeot partner. As quick as they started, they finished already, but you know we'll be using that. We don't normally buy a parts vehicle, but we got a parts vehicle sitting there now, haven't we? So you know what we'll be looking out for. Anyway, end of today's video. If you want to follow us on Instagram, Salvage Rebuilds. If you want to offer us a vehicle, if you've recently had an accident in your vehicle, or your vehicle's going to be written off, we'll always buy that. And of course, we would give you a better price than what you can buy it back for. So you're ultimately going to have a little bit more money there. Also, if you know anyone that's got a vehicle for sale, we'll always pay a nice little finder's fee. Follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds. Follow Chris, Salvage Rebuilds Chris. And if you have got any vehicles or want to reach out about a vehicle, it's sales, SIUK, @gmail.com. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week in the next one.